Good evening, everybody. Look, I'm going to make another video about our latest revelation that is not reported by the media or the federal government or anybody else. I'm reading the latest declassification of Operation Encore, which was released by the Biden administration late last year. And to my surprise, I read 500 pages of it, but there were an additional 2,600 pages that I just found out on the FBI's website. And going through some of it, incredible revelations. Now, I think it was about 2 or 3 months ago, I did a video regarding the breaking news of the first declassification cache files of Operation Encore that were released by Biden. And to my shock, nobody was reporting on it. About a month or two later, when I guess the revelations came out, they could no longer hide it from the legacy media. And ABC and CBS started reporting on it. But the first person to report on it was a small wire called NorthJersey.com. Well, here we have the latest declassification that was coming out of New York. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen. Basically, I'm going to show you this, this file right here. And as you can see, there's 247 pages. It's one cache. So this is from New York. The count themselves New York, Los Angeles, San Diego, and this is redacted. A lot of this information is redacted too, and I'm going to try and fill in the blank in some of it. I'm familiar with some of the story. The document title is Blank to Report Information Garnered During a Debriefing. And as you can see, the date is classified, classification, counterterrorism, San Diego, ATAM, attention, contact, and the detective is redacted. Okay, that is the first cache. Here's the second page, Operation Encore, the synopsis. To report information garnered during a debriefing, blank confidential human source, which is CHS. Remember that, confidential human source, CHS. Enclosure, photocopy of photographs of blank, Walid Bin Attash, whose name is Walid Bin Attash, nicknamed Khallad, Omar al-Bayoumi, and Anwar al-Waqi. And as you can see, details is pretty redacted. It says blank, confidential human source was debriefed in blank at New York Joint Terrorism Task Force concerning Los Angeles and the King Fahd Mosque. There's a huge redaction here, but it says here, in response to their request, Fahad al-Thumairy was sent to be the head imam at the KFM, which is the King Fahd Mosque. Although the request for an imam appears to have been channeled through the Saudi Arabian government, it is unclear at this point the exact succession of events. To facilitate al-Thumairy's entry into the United States, al-Thumairy was designated an Islamic Affairs attaché in the consulate of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Los Angeles, California, by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs Office at the Embassy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Washington, D.C. Well, who was heading the Ministry of Islamic Affairs Office in Washington, D.C.? None other than Musaed al-Jarrah, no relation to Ziad al-Jarrah, whose name was completely redacted in the Operation Encore files, except for one page. Now, Musaed al-Jarrah has always claimed innocence and not knowing any of the hijackers or their associates. But let's read. This is a huge redaction here. And says, by the latter half of 1999, confidential human source advised that the King Fahd Mosque and its members had started to become more radical. Now, they became more radical when Fahad al-Thumairy came. Al-Thumairy had brought in another imam, Muhammad al-Muhanna, who, according to the source, was extremely radical in his religious views. Around the same time, i.e. the end of 1999, and this had to be December of 99, the King Fahd Mosque received a phone call from an individual in Malaysia. Now, you're wondering why I'm making that face. What was going on in December in 99? Well, there was a phone call heard by the NSA from somebody in the Philippines, and this phone call was from Khalid. Walid Bin Attash, who was talking to Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi, who were at a house in Sana'a, Yemen, which was the al-Qaeda communications hub. Khallad told them about a meeting, a high-level al-Qaeda summit meeting in Malaysia that was going to be attended by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Walid Bin Attash, Ridwan Isamuddin, who goes by the Nam Degwa Hambali in Indonesia, Fahad al-Kuso. If you recognize these names, these are some of the names who were involved with the USS Cole bombing and the 9/11 operation. And here we have the NSA and CIA knowing about this meeting in Malaysia. And yet, according to the source, a phone call from Malaysia to the King Fahd Mosque had happened in December of 99. So that would be before the meeting even happened. So that means this person in Malaysia, who we don't know who, has called the King Fahd Mosque in December of 99 and told Fahad al-Thumairy about two people. Now, let me go on. According to blank, the caller wanted to speak with al-Thumairy blank. This phone call was regarding the imminent arrival of two brothers who needed their assistance. Those two brothers were, according to the source, Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Mihdhar. This is tremendous because Fahad al-Thumairy and Omar al-Bayoumi were actually interviewed by the 9/11 Commission and the FBI and denied all knowledge about the hijacking operation of September 11, 2001, denied ever meeting Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi, denied being involved in any way, shape, or form with pre-planning of the 9/11 attacks. Here we have a human source who contradicts all this, and not only that, this is for the first time public information now that Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi were coming to the United States and were told to be that the Saudi government, members of the Saudi government like Fahad al-Thumairy and Omar al-Bayoumi, were told about their arrival before they even went to the Malaysia summit meeting. Let's keep going. Confidential human source advised that al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar were picked up from the airport by an individual that source called blank. Although according to source, this individual was blank, but merely an individual who, when tasked by al-Thumairy, would often provide transportation or perform other small tasks for individuals visiting the mosque. Note the photograph is of blank and is attached here to blank. Prior to the arrival, al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar, al-Thumairy provided blank their flight information. Blank picked up al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar up from the airport and brought them to the King Fahd Mosque, where they first met al-Thumairy. Read the file. When asked by investigators who else knew about the 2000, veteran replied, no one at the King Fahd Mosque knew about them, that he was told by Sheikh Fahad al-Thumairy to keep the presence of the two Saudis to himself. Now, with the latest file, this was actually an interview in 2001, now it's 2022, that there were people in the mosque that were that knew about their arrival, because now lines up. During the interview, Benjamin showed photographs. All the hijackers and numerous photographs of unbelievable. Benjamin looked at all the photographs carefully and put all the file on the left side of the desk. Photographs of al-Mihdhar and al-Hazmi placed the photographs on the right side of the desk. All the photographs, mixed the photographs and things did not recognize the name. According to confidential source, members of the King Fahd Mosque would often use the Mediterranean restaurant and a nearby King Fahd Mosque Starbucks coffee as meeting places, blank showing al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar the location of the Mediterranean restaurant. See recent interview of blank by FBI New York on blank. Source did not have. Now, by the way, according to an FBI interview of Omar al-Bayoumi, Omar al-Bayoumi said, and he gave the same interview to the 9/11 Commission, that he was already in the Mediterranean restaurant with an associate whose name was Qaysam bin Don, and said that he saw two Arab men come in, sit down, they were talking Arabic, and that he heard them talking Arabic and he understood them, and he found out that these were Khalid al-Badar and Nawaf al-Hazmi. But according to Qaysam bin Don, in a video I did in that 3 month Qaysam bin Don actually said it was the reverse. That when they walked into the restaurant, Khalid al-Badar and Nawaf al-Hazmi were already there. Now that would make much more sense because who told Khalid al-Badar and Nawaf al-Hazmi about the Mediterranean restaurant? Because they served halal meat there. Who told al-Bayoumi to go to the mosque? Well, according to Qaysam bin Don, he said that Omar al-Bayoumi picked them up, drove to the King Fahd Mosque, they stood there for an hour. And afterwards, Omar al-Bayoumi went to the Mediterranean restaurant, walked in, and there was Khalid al-Badar and Nawaf al-Hazmi. That means that not only have King Fahad al-Thumairy lied, but Omar al-Bayoumi question was. Confidential source does not have a clear understanding of al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar's progression from Los Angeles to San Diego, not the reasons behind such things. And according to Khalid al-Badar, he did not trust Omar al-Bayoumi and thought he was South Asian. That's the story. Because no one al-Hazmi and al-Badar adversary. Confidential was positively identified individuals in the second photo. And someone was in the Los Angeles and the mosque. Photograph of Walid Bin Attash. Bad leg. This is unfucking believable. Sorry to curse. Walid Bin Attash was inside the United States in the year 2000. This is before the bombing of the USS Cole now. But wow, this is the first time I'm hearing that this guy, who's a major league heavy hitter in Al-Qaeda, was inside the United States visiting this mosque. So now we have a direct connection, according to this source, that a high-level al-Qaeda operative was at the King Fahd Mosque meeting with Saudi consulate officials, Fahad al-Thumairy, who was hired by the Saudi Ministry of Affairs to lead this mosque. Let's continue. Confidential human source positively identified the individual in the third photograph as Omar al-Bayoumi. CHS stated that al-Bayoumi was at the mosque every Friday for prayers, adding that al-Bayoumi and al-Thumairy were acquaintances. CHS advised that al-Thumairy asked al-Bayoumi to take care of al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar. So that means this source can positively put Fahad al-Thumairy, Omar al-Bayoumi, with two 9/11 hijackers in Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Mihdhar. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. And I'm going to reach out to Motley Rice and Creedler about this, and I'm pretty sure they know about this, but I'm just going to make sure they know about this, because now we have a direct connection between the Saudi government and the 9/11 hijackers, at least two of them, and foreknowledge about them coming into the country. The only thing that's missing is their foreknowledge of the attacks. It's the only thing missing. Needless to say, Omar al-Bayoumi and King and Fahad al-Thumairy lied. They lied to the FBI. They lied to 9/11 Commission. Like I said, why? Why did they do that? Al-Bayoumi, al-Hazmi, and al-Mihdhar were together at the Mediterranean restaurant and also at the nearby Starbucks coffee. This is all redacted. Confidential source positively identified the individual in the fourth photograph as Anwar al-Laki. Source advised that al-Thumairy had also asked al-Laki to assist al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar while they were in San Diego. So now, not only do we have Fahad al-Thumairy asking for Saudi government officials to assist two hijackers, but now we could connect them to San Diego as well with Anwar al-Laki. And that is just 3 pages. As you can see, I need to get to 210 more pages. Believe me, if I read something new that was not new to me or reported by the media, I'm going to report it here for you, because this is another puzzle piece that we could put together. It's one piece. Now we got a couple. Let's see what the picture looks like. I'll see you in the next video. Breaking news. Saudi government officials now have a direct link to the 9/11 hijackers, according to an FBI source located at the King Fahd Mosque. Good night, everybody.